At the third stroke, it will be 7:59 and 50 seconds. At the third stroke, It will be 8 o'clock precisely.
The Amateur Television Net is on every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Catch up with the latest ATV news, see the latest television projects, shack layouts and much more. A good time to ask questions about amateur television. We use local 2-meter liaison frequency FM simplex 147.400 MHz and Berwick repeater 439.375 MHz. Every Tuesday starting 8 p.m.
Good evening. I'm come to you from my studio library this evening, and I can guarantee I haven't read any of these books. So good stuff. All right, and I thought I'd add the talking clock as a bit of a touch for the start of the net. It was actually supposed to go through a bit earlier, but I didn't have something switched through, and I did have something switched through that I shouldn't have had last week too, which was a mix -1 channel, which cues me on when I'm about to go to air, which is always a surprise to me because I can never forget. I never remember where we're up to and all that. Actually, the background's a bit flaky, but I'll look at that in a minute. Anyway, we've got a good uptake this evening. We've got Peter on RTV1. We've got Peter coming up after myself, after a short interval. He's online as we speak, waiting patiently, followed by Richard. At this stage, I don't have anyone else on RTV1, so Richard, if you could at this stage pass it back to me, that'll be great. What else? Yeah, that's interesting. I was just looking at YouTube, and there we are. And we might just kill the audio. We have on YouTube watching at this point in time Bronson the Cat, David, VK3RTV, VK4AJJ. I'm not sure what his first name is on that one. We've got Vince, VK3YY, no, YVS. So good round up there, international, interstate and local, so that's all good for those who have identified themselves on the chat, which is not mandatory or required or expected, but great to have people watching. And at this stage, just looking, we've got 11 watching, so that's a good turn up considering how early. We've got Martin, G8 King of England, KOE. So great, Martin, you're doing a great job over there with fronting up to the nets and things, so that's great. All right, but any further to do, we might, and we're also via RF, we've got Neil, VK3BCU, watching, Mark, VK3PI, and Stephen, VK3TTF. So great to have you on board too, via RF as it were. So now, yes, so I'll pass it to you, Peter, if you'd like to you come up, and if those are watching on set-top boxes can switch to channel 1. The net, this has been an impromptu, the net will continue on RTV1. No, I don't have a slide for that lined up, so I'll drop carrier and I'll go to a slide and continue watching on RTV1.
All right, I think we're live there. Just testing 1, 2, 3. No. We want the camera. Okay, I think I've got the right audio now. Good evening, this is Peter, VK3RTV, or the voice of. And you can see there that we're bending the knee a little bit. And I thought we'd have an audio night, because it seems to be that we have audio at various different levels, and there is a standard one that's available. But before I do the little demo on that, just to call out to Mark, VK3PI, I've got a very nice gentleman who's going to sit for a foundation on Monday night, and he lives in Tullamarine, and he's looking for a contact in a radio club, and obviously Wensark would be the best. So perhaps if you could email me a contact for this gentleman, and I can then pass him on. Should be good. All right, we're going to have a video first, and the video is about audio, so hopefully stand by and we'll work it out. Hello everyone, I'm Peter, VK3BFG. I thought I'd make a short video on how to set up your station audio. Audio seems to be a problem with ATV operators universally, so hopefully after this you'll be able to have a more standardised approach to audio through the repeater. This is my video stack. You can see on the left there's a small mini PC, and then there's a HDMI switcher, and below that is the interface to the standard definition, a part of my transmitter if I want to use that, and that's the old switcher analog, but on top of that is the ATEM Mini. And just beside the ATEM Mini is a DTMF keyboard, which works through the ATEM Mini. So what you need to do is select the touch tone code to bring up the 0VU tone. And that touch tone code is *06#. So here we have a 0VU tone, and we can note the level and then reproduce our audio with that level as a maximum. You might have noticed my touch tones were just a little bit high, still not hitting the top, but that's the recommended level. That's 0VU. Alright, well that's basically how you can set your sound level to be about correct. Now if you haven't got an oscilloscope, you can just use your ear, do it by ear and try and emulate that 0V level. If you run at that level, you won't flat top, and it'll also give you a little bit of elbow room for some peaks that might exceed that. So it's a good way of setting up your audio. I hope this has been of some assistance. I'm Peter, VK3BFG. Well, the
You actually hit the tone off, man.
oops, got to turn off. Where's the tone coming from? Just one moment.
The thing you recorded, TQM.
Okay.
That's better.
I'll have to sack the foreman. There's 2 or 3 there, and they're all getting the sack tonight, and there'll be some new people on the floor next week. Anyway, I thought I'd just pop up and go live and report on what's been happening with the GT media. And I did get it working sort of for a little while, but the video has decided to stop working. I think I was running my auxiliary boards off the 5-volt line, and maybe I've overloaded that, so I've bricked one. It still responds to infrared, and it did respond to Steve's little micro that was there for a while. We sorted out some instability there, but then suddenly the video stopped working. But I have another one there, so we'll run it all off its own power supply directly from the input pin, rather than via the 5-volt line on the main board there. So that's the report of that one so far. It's been a little bit disastrous, but it's not the first one that I've bricked. When you're sort of experimenting with things, that happens, and there's a couple of combos out there that one hasn't, the IR's not working, and there's another one that the video's not working either. But there it is. But we've still got some working receivers up at RTV. That's good, and I've got one spare of the old combo, and maybe I can get the GT media running. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. I think probably I'll be handing it over to Richard. I did think that he came up with video, so it's VK3VRS, I think, to take it in the usual stream. This is VK3BFG, 1 Turner South. Over to you there, Richard.
Well, looks like I timed that pretty well. So, yeah, it was good timing. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to television. Now, I haven't got a huge amount tonight. And however, I did go to the Hamfest on Sunday, and yeah, had my recording device, but I was chatting so much I forgot to actually record something. I did mention something to somebody who went, "Oh, I haven't taken any video." That's probably not a good idea. Anyway, so yeah, it was good Hamfest actually. It was very well attended, and yeah, lots and lots of people. Lots of hellos, and hello to everyone, including Vince. And this one's especially for you, Vince. I know you reminded me to go and check through all my emails to respond, and so I did do that for you, and yeah, should still have audio. Yep, that's your path, Vince. All right, you've got an absolute 100% clear view straight to the repeater, so you should be able to get in to ATV on very, very minimal power. You've got an extremely similar path to me, but in a different antenna. So the only difference is I'm not 100% sure if you're pointing right into an antenna like I am. I'm pointing directly at the face of the antenna. You're going to be off the side a little bit. Yeah, so you'll need 100 milliwatts instead of 30. I normally put out about 100 milliwatts as my normal output, so you can have 500 milliwatts and you have no problems at all. So yeah, so Vince, I went and checked your email. I'm not going to respond to it. I'm doing it live on air, and I can see that you're watching on YouTube. So yeah, very good. Right, now in other business, I just want to do a quick comparison. So there's my normal microphone, which is in the camera, and this is a new microphone. Yeah, it's one of these. So if anyone's wondering, there's the, sorry, hang on, there's the little receiver. As you can see, as I'm talking, it's flashing up and down. It's not liking the green screen too much, but that'll give you an idea. Plugged into my PC via USB cable, and that's the receiver, and of course the transmitter is here, so you can see it there. So that one there, it does come in a pair, and that's the other one. So I'm not sure how much that affects it, but that charges it and all that. Hopefully it sounds good. Maybe somebody can give me a report later on and let me know how this microphone sounds. I only just quickly set it up just before coming to air, so I'm hoping that it sounds good. But yeah, you know, I haven't got anything else other than to let you know we've currently got 18 viewers on YouTube. Hello to everyone there, and I haven't even checked Discord yet. I've been busy getting that microphone working. Hopefully this doesn't break my audio. And on YouTube we have 3. So hello to everyone there on YouTube land, and also on Discord. So you might notice here, that's if you're very interested in jumping on Discord and seeing how quickly it is. It's just a quick login, and you can do it with web browser. You don't need to actually download the app. No problems at all. Steve, VK3RTV, and I, more Steve, he's been putting a lot of information on the Discord, and what you'll also find is there's quite a few of the operators around that are now starting to put more and more information about what's happening in the VK ATV scene. So it's worth a look just even for some information there. You'll also see I've got a link for YouTube. So if you don't want to use a QR code, just send me an email to vk3vrs@gmail.com, and I'll send you a link that you can click on. And yeah, it's nice and easy. You can just use your browser and you can watch it, or you can download the app, or you can watch it on your mobile phone. So if you can't be in your shack to watch it on RF for whatever reason, and you haven't got a computer handy, you can always use your phone to actually watch Discord. And on the phone it actually looks quite well, because it looks good because it's small, and it's only being transmitted on Discord in HT, so, or standard definition actually. So the smaller the picture, the better it looks anyway. So yeah, so that's good. Now I haven't heard Clint at all, so I'm assuming Clint's not going to be on tonight unless he comes up later. He might be still eating his steak or something, because he normally has dinner around 8 o'clock. All that failing, I think it's back over to RTV2 for Ian. So everyone, I will switch everyone over, and I will go over to my little what do you call them? Test screen, and then you get a test pattern, and then you can watch from there. Thanks, guys.
Great, thanks Richard for that, and Peter, thanks for the audio. I always forget about the 0 dB measurement on the repeater. I must recheck that. As you say, audio tends to be all over the place as well as problematic. Yes, I had an audio problem last week, but that was unrelated to levels. It was more related to channels. So and I've stabilised the background a bit with the chroma keying. Not that I use chroma keying, but I just move around to different studios in the VK3 Quebec Lima complex, broadcast central I call it. So yes, the streaming's all going well, I believe. What else was good? Oh, mic. That mic is brilliant. The camera, when you switch to the camera mic, it was distant and there was background noise. But going back to the lapel mic, wireless mic, it was very clear and lot great improvement. So that's great. In fact, I use a similar system. It wasn't around when the cheaper or the more economical units were around, and I had to spend considerably more money for the same sort of effects. So they're great. I actually use an external mic because that's what I like doing, rather than having a square box, but it just plugs into a square box on the side of my hip, and so I can move around. Also, I use a reverse system for listening to the mix -1. Where I plug the line into the transmitter, a second unit, second pair as it were, pick up the mix -1 bus output and send it to yet another mic receiver, and that plug the earphone on. So there's a transmitter with mic, with this mic going to the system, and then reverse transmitter on the PC transmitting to a receiver on here, which goes to the earpiece. I'm very impressed with how that works, but you need two systems, as it were. Now, what was I going to say? No, I'm rabbiting on here. I might go for a quiz, one of the easier lines of quizzes, and see how you fare with that one. I think you might fare very easily with that one, because it's the same as last week. So I might go to the hard set, which is, I believe, a new set. So here is a more difficult set of quizzes. Let's take a quick trip across one of Australia's southern states and survey the world of digital TV repeaters in VK3. First up, we land in the historic heart of Victoria, Bendigo, about 150 kilometres north of the state capital, Melbourne. Check in with VK3RBO, live with weekend action and link through to Whereby, DMR and D-Star. Catch the live feed on the BATC stream site at VK3CE and check the description for the latest news. Next we glide west to Geelong, just 75 kilometres from Melbourne. Here the brand new VK3RGL digital TV repeater is in test phase high on Mount Anarchy. Sneak a peek on the BATC stream listed under VK3GL. Then eastward to Mount Waverley, home of our very own VK3RTV repeater, servicing over 35 stations and countless viewers. Join our lively Tuesday night net at 8 p.m, streamed on YouTube and Discord. And as spring gives way to summer ahead, let's dive into Melbourne's famously unpredictable 5-day weather forecast. Good. A little voice told me that I've got to stand by ready for the camera. So here I am. Now, I've got an echo somewhere. But anyway, we'll plough on. We're going to pass to Mick, VK3CH now, and then if Mick can pass it to John, VK3ATV, that'd be great. And at this stage, without any other people coming up on any channels, if you could pass it to me, John, that'd be great. All right, so I might just do a K dropping transmission and pass it on to Mick, VK3CH in Doncaster.
Okay, good evening everyone. Yes, I can see that that's going. All right, always worry when you're waiting for the cutover, like, oh, has it failed, is it going to work, even though you tested a little bit before. G'day everyone, Mick, VK3CH from Doncaster, for those of you that haven't seen me before. All right. Now, I've got to try and remember all my comments without any paper. First thing first, Ian, on your quiz, one of the quotes is, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. I've been putting that to the test, or should I say, I've been proving that that is correct. So, more about that later. Okay, Richard, your little microphone on the shirt collar. Maybe if you put where you got that, or comments from somewhere, or where would you post that, to the users group or something, or shoot me an email, you know my email. So yeah, we're interested in that, although we've got this contraption here, although yeah, I suppose with that attached, just wondering how far the length is, like, you know, how many metres distance that it can cope with, but I'm sure that would be all in the specs we could look up on the internet. and Peter with the setting the audio. I'll have to sort of watch that a couple more times till I get the gist of it. I have sort of read up before, but I'll probably even put it in a copy of the newsletter. But yeah, anyway. All right, what have we been up to? They've added another story to all the 3 houses they're building next door, so I'm actually reaching you with that second story, just, all wooden bits. But what they've got around it is the wall to stop them falling to their deaths, which is all metal. So that's sticking out, let's see, a door's 2 metres, sticking out at least about 1 metre from it, so to catch them. And that's all metal rod barring, by the looks of it, painted metal, yellow colour. So I'm going through that. So yep, that's all good. So once I've put up bricks and plumbing and household wiring and metal roofs and things, we'll see how we go. But I think we're going to be just on the verge of okay. It's pretty much where the old bungalow when the old house was there was, but of course the bungalow wasn't 2-storey. But when you look to where I believe the repeater is, the bungalow is just slightly left. So anyway, time will tell. Okay, what we've been doing, we've been playing with Raspberry Pis. I'm surprised there isn't Raspberry Pi splattered all over the place. But anyway, so yeah, they look like that. Well, the little case that goes in it, probably know what a Raspberry Pi is. So what we've been doing is we have one that's running our All-Star node, and what I wanted to do was try and have that boot from a USB stick, which I got it successfully to do. You transfer the operating system, but it doesn't transfer any programs attached with it. So I've tried for the life of me to make it transfer the Allmon 3, and no. Just the way they've done the image to install it, it goes on a little SD card, where are we? If I can hold that, little card that looks like that, if it's going to autofocus, no. Well, those little tiny little SD card things, and the image is set up for that. So then I did find on the internet, install Allmon 3 manually or through the command line with Linux. So I worked that out, but the flavours of that don't match the operating systems that I'm running. And then what I also wanted to do was build network attached storage. So that's just where you have your Raspberry Pi, connected on your router, part of the IP addresses, one of those spare ports, and it gets its own internet address, and then you attach your network storage to the Raspberry Pi. So in our house, say the XYL says, I want you to print this, I'll email it to you, or I'll stick it on a little USB stick, and she hands the USB stick to you. You come in here, you get the PDF document or Word document, and you print it. And I said, well, what you could do in future is you'll just see this image, which is, it's called PiNAS, now short for Network Attached Storage. You don't have to know what it means, just click on this image and 2 boxes will come out, Mick and her, and you log into it, and probably after you've logged in once it'll remember your username and password, and you just drop your file in there. You can drag and drop and tell me, and I'll go and get it, and I can return any changes to you if you ever wanted to do that. So what I've found is a lot of the ports that uses and Allmon 3 use clash. So I've thought, in the end, I did try a few other things and spent nearly a day on it, installing things and then blowing them up, and installing things and deleting them and doing it again. I thought, so I've just left the Allmon 3 as it is. I've got 2 Pis here, so it's on its dedicated Pi, so I'll leave it at that. I haven't reinstated it yet because I'm using its power supply, so Ian, that's why you can't log in. And that might be the case for maybe another week. I've ordered another Raspberry power supply. It's turned up. It's still in its box. Okay. I've been installing and uninstalling and doing partitions. Oh, here we go. I'll do this. Hopefully we've still got audio. Yes, it says we have. This is Windows Disk Management. These are my 3 main hard drives that I've got. At the stroke of a mouse, I can delete the partition, which means, put it this way. Where are we? Where's the mouse gone? Here, mouse. There. I've read various things about partitions and hard drives. Here's my analogy. Mixed analogy, so instead of AI, I'm telling you. Say you have a book, and the book has a front cover, and it just say that's called, you know, I don't know, Wuthering Heights, for an example. And then you open it up, and it has an index, and, you know, all the chapters and what page they're on. And then you turn to the page, and it has a title, and you can read all that chapter. If you're a computer and you're dumb, well, you know, you're just an operating system and, you know, you just follow commands literally, because that's what they do. Say you've got a B drive, well, C drive, D drive, E drive. Let's just say C drive is called Wuthering Heights. So go to Wuthering Heights. Okay, I'll pick up this book. So I'm dealing with this drive. Okay. Now I want you to go to this particular lot of information. So you look up to the index, and, you know, chapter 3, and you want something on chapter 3, a file on that folder, away you go. Deleting a Windows partition is like grabbing every page that the index is on and tearing that out of the book. It's gone. So you've ripped it out, it's gone. Flutter, flutter, all gone, never going to get it back. So you've still got the book, it's still got the same name, all the chapters with all the information and writing are still there, but you're an operating system. If it can't see the index, it may as well not exist. It's like a street directory. You've ripped it up, and you're in a strange town. That's it. You're stuffed. So that's my analogy. So if I go back to Windows Disk Management and I plug in this drive, where are we? This is an old drive I've got. You should see it appear soon. Is it going to appear? It's got to spin up. There it is. And here's another drive I've plugged in. There it is on the bottom. Okay. I want to install Linux on this. Any flavour of Linux, Raspberry Pi, all the different operating systems. So this is Windows NTFS, which is a fancy name for New Technology File System. That came out, I think, with Windows NT4. This other one's FAT32, which is File Allocation Table, I think. The old-fashioned early Windows DOS compatible. So what I do, if I go right-click and go delete volume, deleting this will destroy everything. Yep, it's gone. Then if I click delete volume, are you sure? Yes. Okay, it's gone. That's ready for yet another Linux install. Now if I unplug this, it's gone. I won't touch this other drive because it's old. If I unplug that, that's gone. I know for a fact that these are my Windows like, you know, C drive, all the important drives I do not want to touch. So I can tell you, to use something like that, any sort of partitioning software, don't do it after you've had a few drinks, or sleep deprived, or you've got someone in your ear nagging you, or, you know, a bunch of whole heap of mates and you're distracted. Oh, where's this and where's that? Oh, yeah, and you go click and, oh dear, what have I just clicked? So yeah, a word of warning, I haven't done that yet. Now this drive I've got with a date of 1987 that I've been playing with for I don't know how long. I scavenged it out of one of my old computers, and I keep the drives. I've been putting Raspberry Pi on this on and off for about the last week. I've lost count. Changing partitions, resizing them. Guess what? This drive doesn't respond anymore. I think I've toasted it. So yeah, that was inevitable to happen. Now the new drive we've got, where'd I put it? Here, is a software-defined drive, half a terabyte, 500 gigs. So being a software-defined drive, lightning fast. This was about, I think, $60 something, $70 something, which compared to what they used to be so cheap. And yeah, you've just got the USB plug on the end. So I've been putting Linux, like Raspberry Pi Linux, on and off this. I must be into nearly the 20th time. So I keep building NASAs, and then they don't work, or Windows won't communicate with them, or they bug me, or I decide I'll do it a different way, so just blow it away and start again. So I've been documenting it in the newsletter I write. I don't know whether anyone's going to read it. I'll look at all this code and think, But yeah, so that's what I've virtually swallowed up 1 week of my life doing. And we're still learning. So there you go. All right, I believe I'm handing it over to John, VK3RTV over in Williamstown. I'm transmitting on T, John. I think you're doing the same, so it should probably be an immediate cutover. So catch us all next week. And yeah, send the link for that wireless mic to me. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cheers all.
Good evening, everyone. John, VK3RTV, Williamstown.
Very low level.
See if we can put a bit more run into it. Is that any better?
I think the live mic is a bit powerful.
Okay, I'm not going to be on this one for very long. I just wanted to show you a different aspect of the shack, the operating desk. I will swap microphones. Perhaps that'll be a little louder. Okay, so I just wanted to show you a couple of things I've done over the last week. Is put some more monitors in. I did previously have my monitors up in a different area behind me, but when I'm operating now, I've got the vMix screen here. I've got a second screen on the PC. I've got the output of the ATEM Mini. Up here I've got input into the DVB-T transmitter, which I'm using at the moment, and a video out of the set-top box, so I can make sure that I'm actually on air. And they've all got audio capability as well, so I can make sure that the audio's coming through in particular areas. So I know this camera's not particularly good, so I'll switch over to the other camera and give you a better view. Yes, I have. So you can see there. Thank you. Okay, you can see there the three screens, and they're just small TFT screens.
and they fit in on the shelf quite nicely, and they're fairly inexpensive. They're I think around about the $50 mark online. So yeah, that's what I have been doing, just setting that up so that I've got a little bit more visibility in front of me rather than having to turn around all the time. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you was how the high-des DVB-T transmitter is set up in the shack here. Oh, that's better. Okay, I'll press the right button. Okay, thanks, Ian. So, just giving you a quick view of how the DATV transmitter is set up here at VK3RTV. So that's the high des, which a lot of you would have seen. A fairly small unit. And I've put it into a box with power supply, fan, etc. A few connectors on the back, and a decent sized fan, although it's quite noisy. I'm going to have a look at Neil's ultra quiet fans, try and quieten down the ambient noise in the studio. So a few other connectors on the back. The dongle is used to communicate with the high des, and that's basically all that's in the box. So you can see there's the high des transmitter there, and the 3-watt amp, which is a Burt Moderman amplifier. So not a lot of power out, but it's enough for what I use to get into the repeater. And then there's just a couple of switches. There's really not much in the transmitter at all. So that's the whole transmitter I use to get into VK3RTV. And just a diagram of what's in it. As I said, there's the high des video directly into the high des, into the 3-watt amplifier. I've got a 23 centimetre filter in line there, straight out to the grid pack antenna, and this is just so I can switch off the transmit. That's probably the simplest way to switch on and off. And there's the dongle there to the PC configuration software. So there's really not much to that. It's a fairly simple way to get on air. And the Burt Moderman amplifier may not still be available because it uses the Mitsubishi module, which is no longer manufactured. So, but I'm sure that he's got another amplifier to take its place. And that's my ATV transmitter rack. So there's the DATV Express DVB-S transmitter there, the DVB-T, the Hyde's DVB-T transmitter, and I've still got my old analog transmitter in there as well, a couple of power supplies. And there's some SWR meter, or power meter, so I can make sure I'm actually transmitting some power. A switch for the antenna to switch between the three transmitters, the coax switch, and that's just some mixing of my analog, which the first camera I was using. It was an old analog camera. So that's fairly quick rundown of what's in the shack here and how the high des unit works and how easy it is to operate and get on air. So back to the 4K camera, which is should be a slightly better picture than when I first came on air. And I should be able to switch back to the inbuilt microphone on the camera. So yeah, so that's about it from me. We're pretty close to the end, so I won't go into anything more. But if anybody's got any questions about the high des, I still think that's probably one of the simplest ways to get on air. Neil also has a fairly simple way that I haven't experimented with yet, but I intend to. So yeah, please get in contact with any of ATVers if you're interested in transmitting on digital amateur television. It's a bit of fun. There's a bit of challenge, but there's a lot of people around that are always willing to lend a hand and help. So that's it from me. I'll hand it back to Ian. So stay on this channel, and I'll put my thanks for watching on Ian, and then you can, and then I'll drop off. So thanks everyone, interstate and overseas, for watching the net. This is John, VK3RTV, saying good night.
Right, we have lift off. Great, thanks John, and thanks Mick. Very interesting segments too. That was great, Mick, with your experiences with. I've never used hard drives to drive Raspberry Pis, but I always use those little cards. They're very finicky, and depending on what how you shut down the Raspberry Pi, you can end up in some scrambled SD card configurations. But anyway, and very good presentation on the Hyde solution. In fact, I know some people are using the rather inexpensive, what are rated at 15 watts, but obviously for DATV, PAs, drawn to my attention by Mark, JMA, initially, and I bought one, but I haven't used it in anger. I must, being inherently lazy, I haven't got around to doing anything about that, seeing I've got a working system. So I must do something about that, because certainly for switching across, my audio is rather low too there. Switching across from S to T, and so it would help some of the speedier switching between stations on RTV2. All right, I was going to just touch on, says here looking for the right button, the event calendar. What we have here is the Spring Field Day, VHF and above Field Day on next Saturday, the 22nd, 23rd, over the Sunday, over the night, 24 hours, or you can just do 6 hours. Is it 6 hour segment? Or it's a while since I looked at the WIA rules, but that's the starting point if you want to participate in the field day, or just get on air and play around at the rather higher frequencies than what many people are using, and no FT8 either, usually at those frequencies, so it's a chance to break away. And there's Ballarat radio groups holding their hamvention on Sunday the 1st of February. So at the airport as usual, always a great event. The country Hamfest, some really interesting stuff comes around. Even, I suppose, Rosebud is a bit sort of nearly into the rural areas, and there's a lot of interesting stuff and activities down that way as well last Saturday. Just looking at the weather for next weekend. So Melbourne's weather is changing around a bit, and that's how it appears at this point in time. And if we look at the forecast for the tropospheric conditions for the higher frequencies, the next 5 days, going from Wednesday, UTC, Thursday, it's pretty ordinary, but coming up to the weekend, it's rather interesting. Purple is certainly very usable, and blue is certainly good, and a bit of orange and green. So there's some hope there yet for the weekend field day. Right, just a reminder that the QO100 BATC net is on at 7 AM Melbourne time on a Friday, and you can catch it on my YouTube channel after the event as a recording, which are usually there for about 3 weeks. Some very interesting stuff and the latest developments and activities of the various BATC members. And by all means, if you can, join the BATC and you'll get their excellent quarterly magazine for a princely sum of just under $20 Australian, and be part of the DATV worldwide family. Great. All right, that's all I was going to cover today, and thanks guys for coming up, and still the same approximate numbers of viewers on YouTube. So on Richard's YouTube, I didn't actually mention that, VK3VRS is his call sign on YouTube, his channel, and yeah, it stays on for some time, the recording, so it's a good chance, but why not watch it live if it's possible, if the time and the moon and the sun align. It's always a good opportunity to hear it coming as we produce it. All right, thanks guys, and thanks viewers and watchers and participants in the net transmitting. Catch you next week, and have a good week playing with electronics, computers and DATV. Says he, looking for the outro.